All right, let's get into it. Today, we're going to unpack a government plan that's going to affect pretty much every single family in Taiwan, Long-Term Care 3.0. And look, this isn't just dry policy stuff. This is the blueprint for how we're going to care for our loved ones and, eventually, ourselves for years to come. Okay, so to really get why this is so important, you have to look at this chart. See that bold red line? That's us. That's Taiwan. And it is shooting up faster and steeper than almost anyone else. This is showing the percentage of our population that's over 65, and, well, the picture is pretty clear. We're aging at a truly historic rate.
Now this number, this is where the story gets really, really dramatic. 7 years. Just 7 years. That's how fast Taiwan is projected to leap from being an aged society to a super-aged society. I mean, to really let that sink in, you've got to see how we compare to other places.
So check this out. It took France 28 years to make that same jump. The US, 16 years. Even Japan, which is kind of famous for its aging population, took 11 years. We're on track to do it in 7. This isn't just a number on a page. This is a real race against the clock, and it's putting a ton of pressure on, well, everything. So, you see, with a wave like this coming, just treading water isn't an option. We need a plan that's more than just a quick fix. We need a serious overhaul. And that's exactly what Long-Term Care 3.0 is supposed to be. Okay, so before we jump into what's next, we got to look at where we are right now. Long-Term Care 2.0 was the foundation for all this, so let's do a quick check on how it's done so far. And you know, 2.0 had some pretty impressive results. The big headline number is this one. Almost 85% coverage. What that means is the vast majority of people who were identified as needing care are actually getting some kind of support now. That's huge. And this chart, wow, it really shows you the sheer scale of that growth. We went from helping about 100,000 people back in 2017 to over 750,000 in 2024. The system has scaled up like crazy to meet this massive need. But, and this is a big but, all that rapid growth has started to show some serious cracks in the system. There's a critical shortage of skilled workers, especially for facilities that need someone there 24/7. And if you've ever tried to find help at night or in an emergency, you know how tough that is. On top of that, the care managers, the very people who are supposed to guide you, are just swamped. So yeah, LTC 2.0 was a good start, but it also showed us all the gaps we still desperately need to fill. And that right there is why we need to talk about Long-Term Care 3.0. This isn't just more of the same. It's designed to be a fundamental upgrade, aiming to fix those exact problems we just talked about. So, what's the game plan? Well, it's built around these 8 core ideas, or pillars, and it's a real shift in thinking. It's not just about providing basic services anymore. It's about creating a whole ecosystem of care. You've got things like integrating medical and long-term care, making that transition smooth. But then you also have pillars focused on strengthening the support system itself, for families with better technology, and for the amazing professionals who do this work every day. All right, let's zoom in on a couple of these that are real game changers. First up, Pillar 6, bringing in smart technology. This is all about using tech and other aids to make life better for the person getting care, and, just as important, to lighten the load for the caregivers. And here's another huge one, actually supporting the family. A big part of this plan is to expand care services while a loved one is still in the hospital. The thinking here is simple, but it's profound. You shouldn't have to choose between keeping your job and caring for your mom or dad. It's a clear signal that if the caregiver breaks down, the whole system breaks down. And believe me, the need for all of this is not slowing down. By 2035, the number of people in Taiwan expected to need long-term care is going to jump to nearly 1.3 million. The system has to get ready for that wave. Okay, so we've talked a lot about policy and pillars, but what does any of this actually mean for you, for your family, in your day-to-day life? This is where it gets personal. Yeah, this is the question that probably keeps a lot of us up at night, right? One phone call and suddenly your whole world is turned upside down. You're facing impossible choices about work, money, and just how to handle it all. So here's one of the biggest promises of the new plan, fixing that hospital-to-home transition. Under the old system, you could be waiting an average of 51 days. That's almost 2 months for help after your family member got home. The goal now, to cut that down to just 4 days and to provide more support programs while they're still in the hospital, so you're not going it alone from day one. We hear the term smart technology thrown around all the time. But what does that even mean when you're actually trying to care for someone?
Can a gadget really make a difference?
Well, the plan tries to make this smart tech stuff really practical. We're talking about making it cheaper and easier to rent things like smart beds that help prevent falls or mobility aids that make moving around safer. It also means giving money to care centers to encourage them to adopt these tools. The focus on user-friendly tech that helps with safety, cuts down on the physical strain of things like lifting, and gets everyone's records online so all the caregivers are on the same page.
You know, the new plan really seems to get that taking care of someone in need also means taking care of the person giving the care. The toll it takes on families, emotionally, physically, financially, it's just immense.
So this means you'll have better access to things that really matter. Someone to talk to, training to handle tough situations, and maybe most importantly, respite services, a chance to just take a breath. And this isn't just a vague promise. It's going to be delivered through a whole network of 179 dedicated centers, building a real safety net for caregivers all across Taiwan.
When you boil it all down, everything we've talked about is driving towards this one, simple but really powerful vision. It's about building a seamless system that helps people stay healthy as they age, allows them to stay in their own homes with dignity, and provides for a peaceful end of life.
So, Long-Term Care 3.0 is the roadmap. It's a solid plan. But making it happen? Well, that's going to take all of us. It's going to take money, new ideas, and a real shift in how we, as a society, think about getting older. So the real question isn't just whether the government's plan is ready. It's about us. Are we ready to face this future? Together?